Hello, I'm so excited to talk about the new Danessa Myricks Lightwork palette today and see how the shades translate on my fair, slightly olive skin tone. I did want to film additional cutesy vanity table shots, but the weather has been so horrible lately. There's definitely more rain than sunshine, so I hope you still see how beautiful the shades are in real life. Anyways, this is one of the holiday releases that I get so excited about every year, along with the Hourglass and Patrick Ta holiday palettes. This year we have the Danessa Myricks Lightwork 6 Freedom palette, which is in a groundbreaking, magnetic, customizable, and stackable packaging. While there are other products that have successfully done functional designs in the past, I think this is the most effective multi-use system that I've come across so far, but do let me know if you think there's another product that has a more innovative design. A similar packaging that I really enjoyed a few years back was the Smashbox Knockout Neutrals Masterclass palette. There were 4 sets that was removable from the main palette, so it was very travel friendly. I believe it was also launched when colorful full glam makeup was everywhere. So I was immediately drawn to the neutral color story. This was not as magnetic and customizable as the Lightwork palette, but I do appreciate the color story and the fact that this was for the whole face. I'm really hoping Danessa will be launching neutrals in this packaging because I do travel more with neutrals. Alright, so let's dive in. This is one of the most securely wrapped items I've ever received in the mail. There are 2 layers of bubble wrap before we can even reach the main box, and then another bubble wrap inside to protect the inner box, which contains the palette. The inner box has a foam-like sheet cover before we can reach the product, and the foam sheets are also present inside the actual palette to protect the glitters and in the tiny crevices, I'm assuming to prevent movement of the pans. It's wild how this is so well protected. I mean, it's just layers and layers of protection here. So I don't know how this is going to be very planet friendly. That's the only thing. The main box has a QR code which you can scan, and it will take you to a YouTube video to introduce their new release. They claim the shades are multi-use for the eyes, face, and lips. It shows the removable mirror and the fully magnetic and stackable packaging, and it also demonstrates that you can unpack each of the color story and pop on the removable mirror for a travel-friendly design, then place it in the bag that it comes with. By the way, the video does not contain swatches of the colors, so I do recommend going to the website or the brand social media for more references, or, just watching other reviews. This retails for $128 USD or 173 Canadian, so 7.1 USD per shade of 1.2 grams or 9.6 Canadian dollars. It's very expensive. However, duochrome and multichrome shadows are usually expensive to create anyway, and you're getting 18 shades, most of which shifts colors and all of them multi-use for the whole face. Not to mention the fully magnetic and customizable case plus the travel bag. So you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. The main palette has 3 color stories which you can easily remove and slide to stack on top of other pans. It will come with a magnetic mirror which also serves as the lid if you want to take these on the go. The set will include a travel bag which will fit the mini kits, and each shade is also removable, so you can go ahead and customize each of the 3 color stories. The main palette is magnetic, so you can just plop other products you want to include here. I mean, is this not a genius package? I'm so impressed, and again, I can't wait to get a neutral version so we can mix it with beautiful colors. Okay, let's go ahead and list the shades one by one. The first set is very autumnal. We have inviting warm shades that consist of golds, peaches, browns, and greens. Let's call this the fall palette. The first shade is Rise, a yellow gold with peach shift. Next is Gleaming, a beetle green with warm brown shift. Then Nirvana, an olive green with teal shift. Another one is Proud, a warm gold with soft pink shift. Second to the last is Higher, an electric peach with flamingo pink shift. And Unapologetic, a suede warm brown. The next set is very feminine and pink. It has berries, pinks, and corals. I wouldn't say these are delicate shades because most of them do pack a punch, but yes, I will be calling this the pink palette. First is Dance, a ballerina pink with silver shift. Then there's Rejoice, a vibrant rose gold with antique gold shift. Then Bliss, a velvet elegant purple. Another is Serenity, a light neon pink with yellow green shift. Then Joy, a bright coral pink with bumblebee gold shift. Lastly, Love, a silky berry magenta. The last set is more cool toned. We have purples and blues that remind me a bit of the holidays. It's a bit daunting for the neutral girlies, but I think it's more wearable than you think because there's a lot of sheer shades that can complement everyday looks. Let's call this the blue palette. First is Unbound, a satin indigo blue. Then we have Fluid, a bright teal with light gold shift. Next is Release, a seafoam blue with lilac shift. Then Empowered, a dark purple with royal plum shift. Another is Euphoria, an orchid purple with lapis blue shift. And then Free, a light hot pink with dove gray shift. The colors of the fall palette are so cozy and it just screams fall. Then we have the pink one, which is quite a romantic palette. I think this will be my most frequented set just because I'm more neutral when it comes to eyeshadows. Lastly, I think this is the most dramatic one of the three. I love seeing these bold and empowering shades here. Now let's go into the formula and finishes. There are 9 types of pigments according to the website. The first are the cream chromes, a dynamic full coverage cream-based chrome pigment. We have Nirvana and Rejoice under this category. A lot of the shades are malleable and leaves an indent once you press on it, but I think this is the creamiest formula. It says wear them alone or build on top, which I definitely agree these are captivating enough to be standalone shades. Then we have the soft satin mattes, which includes Unapologetic, Unbound, Love, and Bliss. These are described as soft buildable mattes with a tonal shimmer pearl. These are straightforward colors with less shifting and heavy on pigment, so I'd say these are great base colors. Next up are the Slick Chromes, which is a wet look multi-chrome pigment powder. Empowered is such a rich shade that is complemented by a beautiful royal plum shift. The shift gives almost a dimension to the color. Another finish is the Duochrome Crush Sparklers. Rise, Fluid, and Euphoria are under this category. These are described as semi-translucent dual tones with a dimensional topper. I personally love these as inner corner highlights on the eyes. The next is the Super Chromes. We have Higher, Gleaming, and Joy. These are described as multi-chrome tricolor shifting pigments. These colors are so gorgeous. The shade Higher is so unique. It's almost like the embers you see from a dying fire or something. How are these so beautiful that it transports me to nature? I'm just speechless. Then we have the Cushion Chrome, which only has the shade Free. It's a creamy powder super shifter with an amplified pigment payoff. I mean, I'm just mind blown by the thought process of putting pink and gray together. This palette is insane. Next are the Halo Chromes. We have Proud and Serenity that are described as an ethereal, ultra-dynamic multi-chrome fairy dust. I love these as toppers because they're quite sheer, but they have beautiful shifts. Second to the last is the Elastin Multichromes. We only have Release under this category, and this is supposed to be a semi-translucent holographic shifter. This truly boggles my mind, how we're actually getting a translucent holographic shade. I mean, how ethereal is that finish? Lastly, we have Dance under Glass Sheens. It is a semi-transparent sparkler. This is another elegant topper shade that I adore. So before my final thoughts, I'm going to compare with the previous Lightworks. While I have been interested, I only actually picked up the Lightwork 4 in the past because I was not a fan of the packaging of the other ones. They were bulky and the artworks were not my favorite. The formula is 100% worth it in my opinion. It's just that packaging really influences my decision in purchasing a product. So I only picked the 4 because even though I wasn't in love with the outside, the jewel tones were too pretty not to include in my collection. These are the comparisons between the 4 and 6 color stories. On the left side is 6 and on the right is 4. The last was in indoor lighting while this is in the sun. You can definitely see that the 4 has very blinding shades. It looks more beautiful in the palette as opposed to the newly launched Lightwork. Most of the shades are super heavy on the pigment, so really attractive for full glam looks, while the newest palette is definitely more toned down. I'd say almost half the shades are wearable natural glam or soft glam colors in the 6. The pigments don't look as exciting compared to 4, but it's because most have a very sheer base pigment and will only transform when swatched on the skin or a darker base. Again, 4 is more full glam and 6 is for natural to soft glam, so I'd say 4 is great if you love more editorial and evening looks, and 6 is more versatile if you want more wearable shades but still want to have the option of a full glam finish. I created a few looks with the palette and I've been gushing the whole week because the shades are so pretty. I absolutely prefer the Lightwork 6 than any other palette that I've owned, and I'll be running to Sephora if this gets launched in neutral colors. Highly recommend. If you are in the market for glitters, you won't be disappointed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm excited to see you on the next one. Bye!